what am I going to do with all these mashed potatoes? We'll make soup, of course. Okay, today's recipe, well, it needs a little introduction. Every chef I know that has ever worked in any kind of crisis, which most restaurants are, they're one crisis after another, knows what it's like to end up late due to life, traffic on the interstate, accident on the interstate, whatever. Your car breaking down outside the dealership, that's happened to me. We know that you need to be able to pull a soup out of thin air at a moment's notice. And this is one of my go-to soups for that type of situation. And it involves leftover mashed potatoes. So first thing we're gonna do is let's get a little garlic in there. I like a little garlic with my potato soup. I'm not going to do anything major with these, just pound them up a little bit. I'll just smash them. I've got about 3 big cloves, 3 little cloves. We'll get them into our pot. Get a little bit of oil in there. We'll need some salt and pepper. I just want to get that started just a little bit. They're going to cook in the soup, but with an industrial cooktop, stuff like that, you can have this soup done in 20 minutes if you really push it. We'll get that garlic going. Hit it with a little bit of salt. I'm going to save the pepper for a little bit later. Just want it to cook just a little bit. Now, mind you, these potatoes are garlic mashed potatoes, so it's already going to have some garlic in there, but I want just a little bit more, which is the way it goes. So the other thing we're going to need, chicken stock, maybe some water. If you want to use vegetable stock, by all means, go for it. I'm thinking about 2 quarts, but if I need to add water to it, I'm going to add water to it. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. We'll get the chicken stock in there. And let's start getting the mashed potatoes in there now. Cut open our plastic. Okay, we'll get these chunks of mashed potato in there. I'm thinking I might be able to use all of this, which would be good because I like a lot of soup. And this is just a really delicious soup to do. There, that looks pretty good. And we just let that simmer. Come up to a boil, back it down to a simmer, and let it cook. Okay, while that's going, let's work on our garnish. This is going to have some sautéed onions. I don't want any color on them, just want to sweat them off a bit. First we got to cut these things up though. without making too much of a mess. Okay, so I've cut them in half, and I have almost peeled them all. A little bit left here. There we go. And now we'll just clean off the knife. And now we'll just julienne them. Don't attempt that at home. Go slow. We'll get a little oil in this pan here. And we'll get these onions in. Hit it with a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. And I'm going to get these sweating off in the back. So the onions are sweating off. I don't want any color on them, maybe just a little bit on the edges. My potato soup is going. I do need to stress that the amount of chicken stock you're going to use is based upon the amount of potatoes you've got. So if you've got, you know, half of what I did, you're probably going to want to use maybe a quart. So adjust that to suit your needs. Oh, also, if you want to make more soup but only have a little bit of mashed potatoes, throw in a raw potato. Chop it up and cook it like you would, boil it like you would for regular mashed potatoes. And then, well, at the end, I'm going to hit this with a stick blender so that, just to make sure that that garlic is chopped up and stuff like that. So, but while we're at it, I'm thinking about another flavor to throw in. And I was out in the garden, walking the dogs, stuff like that. My rosemary looked really good. So I'm going to pull the leaves off and then we'll chop this up really fine. You're going to want to do this real fine, even though I'm going to use the stick blender. These are not going to chop up very fine with the immersion blender. So I'll have to do it by hand. No big deal. There you go. Only takes a minute. But one thing about rosemary is you definitely want to chop this up because you don't want big sprigs of rosemary. A little taste of it goes a long way in a soup. And, you know, on your next standing rib roast. There we go. I'm going to throw this in the soup. Okay, we're almost there. If you remember at the beginning, I put whole garlic cloves just smashed up in here, so I want to use this to make sure that they're broken up. Be careful, this is hot soup. And note that I've got the temperature off. Okay, now we need to, of course, taste it. Nice consistency. Okay, first of all, needs some salt. I like my potatoes very, very salty, so adjust your salt to taste. I'm gonna go with a couple of big pinches, maybe 3. Black pepper that I held off before. Black pepper and potatoes go very well together. And I'm going to add just a little bit of cream, because I want it just a little bit creamier. So a little cream would help with that. There we go. That was maybe a cup. A cup and 4 quarts of soup. It's not bad. There we go. We stir that up. Give it one more taste and see where we're at. Perfect. Perfect. Now let's add our onions in. Stir that up. And we're going to let this simmer for just a few minutes, just to integrate the onions and everything together. Okay, a quick little simmer later. Soup's ready. Let's dish it up. Want to make sure you get a nice amount of onions in there. A creamy soup. There we go. Okay, there we have it. Got our onion soup. Let's think about garnish now. I've got 3 ideas. First, freshly grated Parm. You could use just about any cheese you want. I like Parmesan in this. Parmesan and potatoes go very well together. How about another grind of pepper? Always welcome. I've got some green onions. And optional, but it doesn't need it, crumbled bacon. There we have it. Now mind you, the description, the quantities is a little loosey-goosey here, but what I want you to do is think about what it needs, not necessarily what the recipe says it needs. Go with what it needs. Go with your gut reaction. Develop those skills, and you'll be able to make soup just about out of anything, which is a good skill to have. I'm Chef Cherry. If you like this, check out this. Go down in the description for all the ingredients. And while you're down there, you know, hit that like, subscribe, smash the notification. Just smash all those buttons down there, except the dislike, if there is still a dislike. But go ahead and leave me a comment if there's something else you want me to make. I'll see you next time.